you know that experts predict that travel will return to pre-2019 levels in 2023, pre-pandemic levels? Finally, the world is opening back up and it's time for all of us to get out there and explore it. But the question remains, where should you go? Stay tuned. My name is Alexander Ayling, and for the last decade, I've been traveling and documenting my experiences here on YouTube. I've got a lot of great tips for you in this video, so stick around. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Don't go anywhere because I'm saving the best tips for last, and I've got a lot to share with you. So without further ado, let's get into the video. 1, 2, 3. Now, I want to start things off somewhere warm, somewhere exotic, somewhere like Fiji. Fiji is a remote island chain in the South Pacific, and it's famous for a lot more than its bottled water, although I will say, that is some pretty good tasting water. It's kind of expensive though. So why should you consider visiting in 2023? Well, considering that their borders only recently opened in late 2021, I visited for the first time with my wife in June of 2022. It was a fantastic time, legitimately paradise here on Earth. And I shot a whole video explaining more information about traveling to Fiji. So if you're interested in traveling to Fiji, don't sleep on that video. I'm gonna be linking all of the guides, all of the additional information down in the description of this video. So if you want more information, head down there and check it out. But for the premises of this video, here are a couple reasons why you should consider adding Fiji to your 2023 bucket list. Stunning beaches. Fiji is home to some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, with crystal clear waters, white sandy shores, and palm trees swaying in the breeze. You could spend your days lounging on the beach, swimming in the ocean, or trying out a variety of different water sports. There's scuba diving, there's surfing. Some of the best waves in the world are in Fiji, so if you're a surfer, you probably already have Fiji on your bucket list. But there's a lot more than just beaches and blue water. There's a lot of cultural experiences as well. Fiji is a melting pot. To start with, you have the indigenous Fijian culture. Add to that Fijian Indians and European cultures, all of which have blended together to create something uniquely Fijian. And it's one of the coolest places I've been in the last couple of years. One of the most memorable experiences we had while on the island was a kava ceremony where we were invited into a local's home. My boat driver invited us to visit his family and have kava. There's adventure activities, there's hiking, snorkeling, scuba diving, horseback riding on the beach, which was so fun. And you can explore the island's rugged interior. Overall, Fiji is a beautiful and unique destination that offers something for everyone. Whether you're looking for adventure, relaxation, or cultural experiences, Fiji has you covered. Next up on the list, let's talk about Poland. I visited Poland in 2019, and to this day, it remains one of my favorite European travel destinations. I really didn't know what to expect on my visit, and I was so pleasantly surprised. I was blown away by the architecture, the landscapes, the forest, the people, the cuisine. But in 2023, no other country in Europe deserves our tourist dollars more than Poland. They've been on the front line of the conflict with Ukraine and Russia, and they have taken in more Ukrainian refugees than any other country in Europe. Tourism has decreased a lot since the conflict began, but Poland is safe. So it's worth visiting, it's worth going there, it's worth showing support and solidarity. So make 2023 the year that you visit this beautiful country. I visited the Varmia and Matsuria region, and I can't believe how beautiful it was. Rolling hills, forests, lakes, castles, so many castles. Sailing, swimming, horseback riding, cathedrals, and quaint country cottages. Honestly, Poland had it covered any way you wanted it. There's nightlife in the main cities like Krakow and Warsaw, and for a European destination, it's really affordable compared to other places on the continent. So if you want more information, then check out the vlogs that I shot from my trip to Poland. I'll link those in the description. Next up, Laos. Let's talk about Southeast Asia's overlooked gem. Sharing borders with Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, China, and Myanmar. Wow, Laos is at the center of Southeast Asia. It's been a must-hit spot for people who are rich on time, but maybe not necessarily too rich on cash. It's extremely affordable and has often been overlooked and overshadowed by its more popular neighbors, primarily Thailand and Vietnam. But Laos is an overlooked gem. You should put it on your 2023 bucket list. It's affordable and extremely laid back. And thanks to the opening of a semi-high-speed railway system in 2021, getting around Laos has become a lot faster. It's easier than ever now to travel around the country, and they've shaved off tons of time from what could have previously been a long and uncomfortable journey. Some other reasons you should visit: Laos is home to some incredible scenery. It's got a variety of natural wonders, including verdant forests, towering mountains, and cascading waterfalls. Or explore the caves at Vang Vieng. Laos has a long and interesting history with a unique culture that blends Buddhism with animistic beliefs, as well as other traditional customs. You can visit temples, learn about Laotian culture at the Lao National Museum, or attend a traditional dance performance. But at its heart, Laos is a great destination for adventure seekers. It's got a variety of activities on offer, including rock climbing, whitewater rafting, zip lining, trekking, visiting local villages, and even taking boat trips on the mighty Mekong River. It's also a great place to relax that will not break your budget. Laos is really affordable, so you can live luxuriously without spending too much money. It is a laid-back, peaceful country, and it should definitely be on your 2023 bucket list. Okay, heading back to Europe, let's talk about the United Kingdom. No, I'm not talking about London. Everybody's been there, and as much as I love London, which I do believe it's one of the best mega metropolises in the world, I'm talking about Liverpool. And why should you visit Liverpool in 2023? Well, apart from the fact that it's hosting the Eurovision Song Contest, I've always loved watching the Eurovision contest unfold, but I've never had the chance to do it in person. I visited Liverpool a few years back, and I was really impressed by the incredible architecture. It has like this Gotham City feel, and it's also the home of one of the best bands in the history of the world. Yes, that's right, the Beatles. The Beatles were born and bred in Liverpool, and their influence still is very strong in the city. But Liverpool was a big music city apart from the Beatles. There's also the Mersey music scene, named after the river, and that little music scene was what actually influenced the Beatles in their early years. You can learn a lot more, you can go on a Beatles tour. Liverpool also has world-class sporting events, being home to two of the biggest football teams in the nation, Liverpool FC and Everton FC. If you're there during the season, you can catch a match at either of the two main stadiums, Anfield or Goodison Park, or you can visit the museums at the two respective football clubs. Apart from that, Liverpool has great museums, it has great shopping, it's known for its nightlife, so it's definitely a nice alternative to visiting London. If you have already been to London, but you want to go and explore more of the UK, then check out Liverpool in 2023. Next up, let's talk about the Mustang Valley in Nepal. Nepal is the kingdom at the height of the Himalayas. It has been on my bucket list for as long as I've known about the rest of the world and traveling. I've always wanted to visit Nepal, and 2023 is the year that I'm gonna make it happen. Known as the roof of the world, Nepal is a country that sits amongst the tallest mountains on the planet, including the world's tallest, Mount Everest. So if you're like me and you love mountains, then Nepal should be on your 2023 bucket list. So why the Mustang Valley? Well, the Mustang Valley is an isolated corner of Nepal. It consists of the lower and upper Mustang Valley, which used to form the Kingdom of Laos. Ethnically, the people of the Mustang Valley are Tibetans, and most of them live along the banks of the Kali Gandaki River. The Mustang Valley district is famous for its trekking, and as a person who loves getting outdoors and getting in amongst it in the mountains, I'm booking a 2023 Mustang Valley trek. The entire district is included in the Annapurna Conservation District. It's one of the largest protected areas in the entire country of Nepal. And while the region can be visited year-round, it is kind of the best practice to try to avoid the monsoon season. The autumn months of September, October, and November are peak season for trekking in Mustang. During autumn months, the clearest skies afford the most amazing views of the surrounding landscape and mountain peaks. It's also the season where two of the biggest festivals are celebrated in Nepal's lower regions: Dashain, the celebration of good over evil, and Tihar, the festival of the lights. Next up, let's talk about Tanzania. How many of us dream of one day going on safari in the wild savannas of Africa? Well, Tanzania is the country to make that happen, specifically on the Serengeti. The Serengeti National Park is located in the northern part of Tanzania on the border with Kenya. This incredible land is home to elephants, lions, hyenas, giraffes, leopards, cheetahs, wildebeest, and so many more animals it's difficult to fathom. There's really no experiences that compare to waking up with the sunrise on the Serengeti National Park. It's a timeless experience and one that harkens way back to the very early days of humanity. It speaks to the soul. So why should you visit in 2023? Well, Air Tanzania, the national carrier, is pushing to make Tanzania the central hub for travel and connections throughout the African continent. They'll be launching new routes that connect Western and Central Africa, as well as a new direct flight to the UK. And I can't talk about Tanzania without mentioning one of the most memorable travel experiences of my life: climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. Climbing Mount Kilimanjaro is an absolute life bucket list. And why should you visit in 2023? Well, the glaciers at the top of the volcano, they're not getting any bigger, they're getting smaller faster. If you want to see the last remaining glaciers on the entire African continent, then don't wait. Go climb Mount Kilimanjaro this year. If you want more information about climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, I shot a whole documentary. It's linked down in the description. It's about an hour long and it shares all of the ins and outs and my experiences while climbing Africa's tallest mountain. And if you don't feel like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, then just head to the beach and relax in Zanzibar, the island off the coast of Tanzania. Moving north from Tanzania, let's talk about Cairo. There are few places as iconic as the Great Pyramids of Giza, just outside the city of Cairo in Egypt. Pyramids are timeless and they have been on my bucket list forever. 2023 is the year that I'm going to cross them off of that bucket list, and I'll tell you why. Well, for starters, there will be the grand opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum. It is the largest museum of Egyptian artifacts in the world. It houses the entire collection of King Tut, and it cost over $1 billion to construct. Doors will be opening in early to mid 2023, and it's been under construction for a number of years now, but in 2023 the doors will open to the largest collection of Egyptian artifacts in the world. Apart from the pyramids and the Grand Egyptian Museum, there are plenty of other things to see and do in Cairo. You've got the Citadel. It's a medieval fortress which dates back to the 12th century, and it offers stunning views of the city and is home to several important historical sites. Then you have the Khan El Khalili Market, which is this big, beautiful bazaar. It's a souk, a marketplace, and it's one of the largest in the country. This bustling marketplace is a great place to shop for souvenirs and experience the local culture. And then Cairo is a food city. I love Middle Eastern food, and Egyptian food is delicious. I can't wait to get there and try some of the local delicacies. Overall, Cairo is a city with a lot to offer. A vibrant, bustling metropolis that mixes the ancient with the modern, and it's gotta be on your 2023 bucket list. Next up on the list is Santa Fe, New Mexico. I just visited Santa Fe last month, and I can't tell you how much I love the the city. Booking.com names Santa Fe as a top trending destination for 2023. It's renowned as an art city. There's a variety of galleries and museums to visit, from the Museum of International Folk Art to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. Santa Fe, the capital of the state of New Mexico, is a charming city with a rich history that dates back over 400 years. It was founded in 1610 by the Spanish and remains one of the oldest cities in the United States of America. It later became part of Mexico before it was annexed by the USA in 1846, which is why it has such a unique and beautiful blend of culture. One of the things that I love the most about Santa Fe, though, is the architecture. It blends local indigenous Native American culture with Spanish colonial architecture, as well as Mexican influence, creating something that is truly unique, especially in the United States of America. Santa Fe is the perfect place to travel domestically that feels like you're traveling internationally. I really enjoyed wandering the old town, exploring the old buildings, checking out the oldest church and the oldest house in the United States, as well as visiting the Native American site at Bandelier National Monument. Bandelier National Monument, an old Pueblo Indian village where you can still climb up into some of the structures and get a better idea of how these ancient people lived in harmony with the land. The magical landscape, mixing desert and pine forested mountains of the southern Rocky Mountain range, have attracted artists for decades, including artist Georgia O'Keeffe, whose work is available to see in one of the many different museums in the city. It's a year-round destination, so if you feel like going snowboarding in the winter, you can do that right outside of town, as well as visiting throughout the rest of the year. So if you're in the United States, you want to travel abroad but don't feel like spending extra on an airplane ticket, consider visiting Santa Fe, New Mexico. Next up, let's talk about Japan. Japan finally reopened its borders to international travelers in October of 2022 after being closed to the rest of the world since the pandemic began. So it's time to finally make that Japan trip you've been dreaming about a reality. Obviously, Tokyo is a must visit if you haven't. It's a vibrant mega metropolis, and it kind of feels like Blade Runner, especially at night. But there is so much more to see and do in Japan. You could check out Japan's Hawaii, Okinawa, the southernmost islands in Japan's island chain, home to a unique culture, warm tropical water, surf, and delicious seafood. Or you can head out and explore islands like Kyushu, Japan's third largest island. Soak away the stress by visiting an onsen, a traditional Japanese hot spring resort. These places are the epitome of Japanese relaxation. If you've never been to an onsen, you really have to give it a go. These traditional hot springs have formed a central aspect of Japan's wellness and relaxation culture, especially in resort towns such as Beppu. Kyushu is internationally famous for its tonkatsu ramen, hot springs, dramatic mountains, and pristine beaches. Plus, the new Shinkansen bullet train makes getting there even easier. New routes opening in late 2022 and early 2023 will make it easier and faster to access remote, small hamlets and mountain towns. The best time to visit Japan is in October and November, when the seasons are changing, trees are changing colors, and the temperature is cooler, which makes it perfect for hot springs, and you're avoiding the humidity and the oppressive heat of summer, as well as avoiding the monsoon season, which can disrupt travel. Number 10 on the list, Italy. Now, if you were on social media last summer, you probably noticed that pretty much everybody was in Italy. Well, that trend is predicted to increase this year. Even more people will be visiting Italy. But there's a reason why. Because Italy is a timeless destination. It is a fantastic place to visit. And if you've never been, 2023 is the perfect year to give it a go. There's a reason Italy is so popular. It's beautiful. The food is fantastic. The wines are world class. And Italian's dolce vita is the perfect blend of laid-back vibes and a refusal to settle for anything less than the best. But if you're planning on visiting Italy, try to avoid peak season and peak destinations. Let's say you're considering visiting the Amalfi Coast. Well, maybe go to a different place like the Italian Riviera. I spent time in the small town of Rapallo while filming for my television show, Basic vs. Baller. It was absolutely beautiful, full of Italians, not international tourists, without inflated prices. It was a local, beautiful destination with great beaches, great food, great views, and there are plenty of little towns like that that are not on the international tourist trail. For example, visiting a city like Genoa. Genoa was once one of the world's most powerful city-states. It's got incredible architecture. Its entire old town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it doesn't get the visitors like Rome or Venice. But if you are considering visiting Rome or Venice, check out my travel guides in the description below. So I would suggest considering alternative destinations. Italy has over 20 different regions, ranging from the snow-covered Alps in the north all the way down to the island of Sicily in the south. There's a lot to see, a lot to explore, and if you're gonna visit Italy in 2023, consider visiting different regions away from peak tourist destinations. One last tip about Italy: if you're gonna rent a car, don't speed and be very careful where you park your car. Trust me, I know they're really good at sending tickets internationally. I got caught speeding, didn't even know I was doing it, and I got a parking ticket. Didn't even know that happened, but I did know when they sent me the bill in the mail. So be careful while driving, don't speed, be careful where you park. Don't leave your luggage in the car either, because in certain areas, it might not be there when you get back. Next up on the list, New Zealand. Now, for those of you who have followed me here for a while, you probably know that I live in New Zealand. I'm in New Zealand right now. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't visit New Zealand in 2023. New Zealand is a country made up of 3 main islands located in the South Pacific Ocean. The rugged and untamed landscapes of this country make for the unparalleled scenery and the adventure of a lifetime. The country locked down and closed borders for most of the pandemic and only recently reopened its borders to international travelers in the end of 2022, which means it's the perfect time to come visit in 2023. Probably watched Amazon's Rings of Power series, or The Lord of the Rings, or the Chronicles of Narnia, or any other of these adventure fantasy series that have been filmed here in New Zealand. And that's because the landscapes here are otherworldly. But if you want more information about what to do in New Zealand or how to plan for your trip, I've got 2 videos here on the channel, 12 essential tips for traveling to New Zealand, as well as the 12 destinations you must visit when you come here. Both of those are linked down in the description. If you do visit, I definitely recommend getting out and going for hikes. Maybe you can do one of the Great Walks, which are some of the best treks in the world. I've linked my Milford Track experience, the documentary that I shot from that Great Walk, 4-day Great Walk. It's down there in the description box as well. If hiking isn't for you, you can skip out on that entirely. You can do a luxury trip to one of the many wine regions around the country, like Central Otago on the South Island, the Wairarapa, or Hawke's Bay on the North Island. The best time to visit New Zealand is during the shoulder season. Spring, which is from September to November, or autumn, which is from March to May. Winter can be pretty cold and wet. There is skiing and snowboarding on the South Island, predominantly around the city of Queenstown, Wanaka, or Christchurch. Summer usually has great weather, although this year we're still waiting for summer to come. But it also has more tourists and higher prices. So visiting during the shoulder season is the way to go. And last but not least on the list, Argentina. I love Argentina. I visited once before, and with Argentina bringing the World Cup back, there's no better time to go and visit one of South America's most beautiful countries. With over 2.78 million square kilometers, Argentina is the 8th largest country in the world and the 2nd largest in South America. It's got plenty to explore. From the Pampas grasslands of the Gauchos, Argentina's world-famous cowboys, to the surf beaches of Mar del Plata, to the stunning beauty of Iguazu Falls, to the soaring peaks of Patagonia and the alpine lakes of Bariloche, or the rustic charm of old Buenos Aires. Argentina has something for everyone. But for me, I'm a fan of Argentina's food and wine, asados and Malbec. And the best place to experience that is in the region of Mendoza. Mendoza is the capital city of the Mendoza province in Argentina. It's located in the western part of the country in the foothills of the Andes mountain range. It's known internationally for its wine production, specifically the Malbec grape.
So one of the things that makes Malbec special is the color. The pulp is transparent. What's important is what's in the skins.
A rich, dark red wine that pairs perfectly with Argentina's national dish, asados, different types of meat cooked over an open wood fire. Mendoza is also the gateway to the tallest mountain in South America, Aconcagua, so it attracts many hikers and climbers as well. So with so much to offer, Argentina has something for you. Add it to your 2023 bucket list. Okay friends, well, that's it for this video. I'm super excited to get out and travel more in 2023, and I hope you are as well. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. Don't leave without subscribing. I've got a lot more travel tips, travel vlogs, vlog series, as well as the homestead renovation videos coming to you on this channel this year. And if you have any tips of your own, don't hesitate to drop them down there in the comment section. All right, friends. Well, with that, I will see you on the road. Peace.